dealing with money and talking about money, managing money, just money in general can be a super stressful thing for a lot of people. Of course, we are here chatting about money all day long. We are very comfortable with it. But we also remember the times when it wasn't so easy to talk about and wasn't so comfortable and often was a taboo topic to broach. And so we thought that we would share with you today some tips, some strategies. If you find it really hard, really overwhelming, really stressful to even just start the process of managing your money, you find it really intimidating to just broach that topic, to face your numbers, to talk about money, we wanted to share some tips and strategies with you to hopefully make that process a little bit less stressful.
Hey Wealth Builders, welcome back to another episode of The Bemused. My name is Mishak.
And I'm Akiva.
And on this channel, we talk about all things personal finance for young adults just like you and us.
So if you're into that kind of stuff, go on and hit that big red subscribe button and come join the squad. So the first tip we have for you all in terms of how to make money less stressful is really getting to the root and the core of why this feeling is so overwhelming, right? Really exploring your relationship with money, the root causes, the why behind the what, the why behind the feeling. I think this is a really underrated part of the money process, right? As I like to say, I can talk to you about budgeting, I can talk to you about, all kinds of stuff until you're blue in the face. But if we don't first unroot and uncover those deep-seated fears, those deep-seated tendencies, wherever they may be coming from, it's no use, right? And so I think the first step to really making this whole thing feel a whole lot less scary and overwhelming is to really explore your personal relationship with money and your tendencies.
Yeah, I think that when it comes to money, fear is really a big thing or a big emotion that gets attached to it. And I think that a lot of people sometimes, because they're afraid, they then say, well, okay, I don't need to learn about it. I don't need to really unpack those emotions and figure out where they're coming from. And I think that that's really the first thing to tackle. Figure out maybe what type of financial traumas I might have in my closet. Was I raised a certain way to think about money? Was I raised to not talk about money? All of those things are really going to impact the way that you handle your own finances.
Yeah, our upbringing, our life experiences, who we, were around, those things that, form a big part of our lives don't extend to just our day-to-day habits or day-to-day tendencies. It also extends into our money. I think that's something that, we don't really think about or talk about very often. So it's really important to really do that work, right? And sometimes if it means having to go to a professional to seek therapy, to do different things, there are resources and tools out there for you if you need to take that extra step in having, someone go through that process with you so that it can be the most effective. So definitely digging deep, right? Before you even try to attempt a budget, digging deep and figuring out why is it that I am the way that I am? Where is this coming from? So that I can take steps to then improve my relationship with money will be a great first step.
The second tip is stop worrying about what everybody else is doing. And I know that this is a really, really difficult one to, get over because there's so much information coming at us on a daily basis on social media with the friends that you speak to on the phone. Oh, I'm booking a trip here, or I'm doing this. I bought this house. I bought this car. It's really, really challenging for you to get away from that. But you have to stop comparing yourself to others, right? You don't know what that person has done, what they're doing, what they did to get where they are. So you cannot compare yourself to others. That is like the worst thing that you can do. So just stop doing it.
Yeah, and it's easier said than done, right? Keeping up with the Joneses. I still don't know who the Joneses are or why we're keeping up with them. But, that whole concept, we really have to learn how to not do that. Your only competition is yourself. Don't look at anybody else and say, oh, well, they're the same age as me and they're so much further ahead in life. Again, you don't know what things they did to get there. You don't know the unearned privileges that they might have had that you didn't in order to put them in that seat. And so definitely just, don't do that. Make your journey your own. Personal finance is just that, personal. So just focus on what is in your power, what is in your ability, challenging yourself according to your own values, your own goals, and your own timelines. But definitely don't peg your timelines to anybody else's because that's a surefire way to feel like you're always behind, like you're never gonna get ahead. That's where you get into that cycle of thinking. And so that's what we want to avoid, to help make dealing with money and talking about money a lot less scary.
And remember that these things take time.
Yeah.
Don't beat yourself up because, like Akiva said, you feel like, oh, I'm this age and I should have this together and all of that. No, don't do that to yourself, because again, no one knows what is going on in your background and your either, you know, like we don't know if you have any type of trauma, any type of anything that might be in your background that might be inhibiting you from taking certain steps that others might be able to take. The privilege that, and we've spoke about this, that we have growing up, going to Adventist school, going to private school, and those type of things, that other people didn't have those opportunities. So definitely don't rush yourself or think that you have to be at one stage by a certain date. But the most important thing is to try and be better tomorrow than you are today. And you're in a race with yourself.
So my piece of advice, stop looking at those videos where, oh, how much money, or the blogs, how much money you should have saved by each age. Like, I don't know who came up with those things. I personally don't subscribe to them. Again, your journey is your own. And so just focus on taking one step at a time, focusing on your own situation and your own life. And I think you'll be much more happy. It's just in general too. Just like outside of money, just comparing the comparison game, you know, you can never win the comparison game. It's kind of how I think about it. So just focus on yourself and your journey.
Especially when you realize that you might be looking at your situation and looking at someone else and saying, oh, I wish I had what they had. And they're probably doing the same thing. Looking at someone, oh, well, I wish I had what they had.
Yeah.
So just like I said, it's difficult, but if you can, just try and reduce that train of thought.
And the third way to help money feel less overwhelming is to learn more about it. I'm sure you knew that tip was coming, right? That's the whole purpose of why we do what we do, why we help to inform, educate, teach people about money as we are learning and teaching ourselves, right? It is so that this topic of money can become less and less scary the more that we learn, right? Knowledge is power. The more we know, the less scary things become. And so go out there, get the resources that you need, get the education that you need so that you can be more informed and less worried and scared about different financial topics. So whether that is, you know, taxes seem a lot, you know, a really scary thing. They're a really scary thing for a lot of people, right? I just don't understand it, and that's what makes it scary. Just by having that understanding, that knowledge, increasing your financial literacy in that way will really help to make certain things just a lot less overwhelming and a lot simpler.
Definitely. And there's so many different resources out there. If you are the person that likes to listen, you have podcasts. If you like to read, you have books. If you like to, you know, visually see things, you have YouTube. You have other platforms, or you have visual representation. So there's information out there. But, you know, take everything with a grain of salt and make sure that you verify the information before you take action by just listening to any Tom, Dick, and Harry on the internet, because not all financial advice is good financial advice, and not all financial advice is best for you at the stage of your financial journey. So keep that in mind as well.
Yeah, and that extends even to us, right? If anything that we're telling you, trust but verify, right? Verify that with other sources, right? Check 2 and 3 times. Just, you know, don't take anybody's word at face value. So definitely do your research. Take the time to do that if that's what you need. Of course, there are resources, ours included, that can walk you through things in a more step-by-step fashion if you're ready to invest in yourself in that way. However, do whatever comes best for you, whatever comes most naturally for you to learn and to apply to your financial situation, because I really do think that knowledge really does help to alleviate a lot of these issues. A fourth way to make dealing with money less stressful is to just get into the habit and practice of simply talking about money. I think that the great thing about this digital age and this new generation of ours is that we're getting a lot more comfortable just having transparent conversations, having open conversations, sharing things about our personal finances, right? So surrounding yourself with the right places, spaces, people who are having these conversations, that will help also make it more easy for you as well, right? Knowing that people aren't here just sharing to show off. Like, that's not the intent. The intent is we speak and we share so that we can all learn and we can all level up together, right? There's all these types of things. There's like that TikTok page, like Salary Transparent Street, and like, you know, things that we're doing, like sharing our net worth, sharing our numbers publicly. Not saying you have to share your numbers publicly, per se. However, I think that normalizing the conversation goes a really long way. And I found also that the more that we, in our personal experience, the more that we have started those conversations, even with family or close friends, the more that they feel comfortable then also sharing, and we're able to help each other in that way where something they say, I might be like, oh, have you thought of this, or do you know about this, and vice versa, where just in having those natural conversations we can learn things, right? How many times have you had a great restaurant recommendation just because somebody mentioned something nonchalantly in passing, right? Or some unique experience or activity that turned out, or a movie or a book recommendation that was really great, that enriched your life, right? The same with money. I think that the more we talk about it, the more that these natural experiences are going to, come out of those conversations.
And I think that the point on, compensation, that's a really big topic that's been getting a lot of attention lately as well. And again, it's so important with having those conversations because it helps, everyone who comes after you, right? If we're all closed mouth about what we're earning and what we're this, I could be right next to you doing the same job and you could be making $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 more than me, and I don't know. And it's, I know the people who are in the higher earning situation, they're, oh, well, that's not good for me. Just, share, right? It might not be that the person might get what they're asking for at that company, but again, through those conversations, and they're able to know that when they go to the next one, that they know to ask for a little bit more, that amount that they asked for at this one might have been too low. And again, that helps because the more money you earn, that's the more money that usually you'll be able to have at your disposal to then advance your financial situation, to advance your financial journey, get to your goals faster. That's really what it's all about. So that's what we mean when we say by sharing in those type of compensation conversations and other things. Make sure to comment down below what you think about our tips that we gave here. Did you like them? Didn't you like them? Do you think that there's anything that we missed out in this video? We want to hear that down below.
And if you're interested to learn kind of the steps that we've taken over the years to increase our knowledge on financial matters and how we've been able to implement things into our lives and make our money lives a lot less stressful, I'd love to invite you to join our free webinar. It's on the financial freedom formula, how to build wealth without a six-figure salary, right? It's not a prerequisite for building wealth, as you'll see from our journey and our stories and experience. So the links for that will be down in the description box below. Hope to see you there.
Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and to click the notification bell so you never miss when we post new content just like this. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.